Hi there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Today you're part of the House series, and this is probably one of the newer videos coming out in the new year. If you're watching for the first time, then Happy New Year to you, and may you have a lot of success and happiness throughout this year. So this particular series, I'm featuring a house called as Fashion Perfumery. Okay, now this is a house or a fragrance house that's based out of Gujarat and Vadnagar, if I'm not wrong. And I came across this particular house through Instagram, where they reached out to me and asked me if I could try some of their fragrances and review them. So a lot of times I do get requests from Indian houses, and like I said, I always root for Indian houses, so I'm very happy to try fragrances, and if I like them, I kind of review them, right? So this particular house, Fashion Perfumery, sent me 3 Attars, which are basically these, right? So the first one is called Spirit of Oud, second is called Floral Ocean, and the third one is called Arusia. Okay, now these are 3 fragrances that they sent me, and I tried them. And initially, I don't keep any expectations because I kind of have I want to have a no bias kind of a viewpoint. And when I tried this particular fragrance, I was pretty much surprised with this. Especially, this is called Spirit of Oud. Now this particular fragrance has got like the name says, it's got oud, of course. It's also got lavender, it's also got citrus elements, it's also got ginger, coffee, and a lot of those elements as well. But primarily what you get on this particular fragrance, first of all, is that you get a very nice chocolatey vibe. Okay, and this particular fragrance lasts very long as well. So in terms of its scent profile, so let me do a dab, and immediately it opens up with that rose, because there is a Bulgarian rose there, and there is that oud, there is leather, there is saffron, so there's a lot of sweet elements to it as well. But as the fragrance opens up, it, because of the coffee note and because of lavender and all of that, it brings up that thought about like a gourmand, like a fragrance that will imitate chocolate, as an example. Okay, and the reason why I say chocolate is specifically because the moment I put this on, my daughter was about 3 or 4 feet away playing there, and suddenly she said, "Dada, what have you put on? It smells like chocolate." So one thing was very clear, that it projects really far as well. So 4 feet is like really good. And the second part of that note of rose, oud, and all of that has made really well. So in terms of lasting, it will easily give you about 6 hours at least that I could get on my skin. On apparels, it will definitely do a lot more. So in terms of the scent profile, it's pretty nice. It opens up with this little bit of the citrus elements, a little bit of the rosy element, but predominantly it's an oud, it's got saffron, it's got leather, and then at the base there is ginger, there is coffee, and all of that. There is musk, there's vetiver, brings a lot of those elements together, but essentially you get a very dense smelling rose oudi kind of a fragrance, which is really nice. It's a fragrance that you will definitely get compliments on, right? So this was a Spirit of Oud, which is really nice. You should definitely try it in case you want to try something very sweet, very nice, because the oud on this is not the barnyardish, not the vetiverish type of oud. It's a very nicely, softly, very well-rounded oud, which is very sweet, right? So you can definitely enjoy this. This is Spirit of Oud from Fashion Perfumery. Okay, the next one that I absolutely enjoyed on this particular one is called Floral Ocean. Okay, now let me do another dab on this one. This was quite a surprise because as the name says, this is a floral and ocean. So right, so you're thinking marine notes and all of that. You're absolutely right. But because of the floral notes on this one, it's so very breezy, so very beautiful, so very light, very nicely done. And with all these flower notes, then there is the second part which comes into play, which is the aquatic tones, which is the marine notes on this, which are really good. So that will open up a very nice ambience, and it kind of feels like this particular fragrance will give you whiffs of sweet, rosy, marine note kind of a fragrance, which is amazing really. From a notes point of view, this particular fragrance will open up with cypress and lavender, and then it's got sandalwood and cedar, all of that. So there's a lot of woody tones, but that cypress and lavender actually makes you feel like there's a bouquet of flowers, and then this marine notes walking through it kind of thing. It's really nice in terms of the way it works. Though this is very unisex in terms of its scent profile, I would say this is excellent for office wear. In fact, I would say in summer you will absolutely enjoy this. Now again, on this particular one, you will easily get a 3 feet or 3.5 feet of projection easy. Lasting, in my opinion, is about again 5 to 6 hours time. As the dry down happens, it becomes a more powdery, more aromatic kind of a fragrance because of those woody notes in that. But at the right at the top, because of that cypress and lavender, it gives you a very nice twist in terms of very beautiful bouquet of flowers. And this this is something very nice. Okay, so you can definitely give this one also a try. This is Ocean Floral Lotion. The third one on this particular list is called either Ambrosia or it's called Arosia. I think here it says Arosia, but I think in the note section that sent it as Ambrosia, so I think it could be Ambrosia, right? Now this particular fragrance is a very nice delight. The reason why I say it's a nice delight is because there is a very interesting note of caramel in it, whereas the top notes are citrus, there is woody notes, there is vetiver, there is musk, white musk, there is patchouli and all of that, but there is also caramel. Now because of that caramel element in this particular citrus combination, it becomes this particular fragrance which has got, like, think about like lemon, tangerine, those kind of citrus fruity notes to it, but added with a little bit of sugary caramel, and that's what this particular fragrance gives. It gives you a very nice whiff of that caramel and throughout, and those woody notes are also holding this together. The patchouli and vetiver will bring you that feeling of rainwater, or that spring, that kind of a season. So in terms of wearing it, I think this is excellent for especially evenings, but then I think this could be all year round. Now in terms of projection, this was, I think, slightly lesser. I got about 2.5 feet of projection, and performance was about 5 hours or so, but on the whole this was very nicely done. And again, I keep saying that because of that caramel note, which is so very unique to the citrus elements, and those vetiver and musk and patchouli brings a very beautiful distinguished note, scent profile that is very attractive, right? I think that way it's very nice. So on the whole, these three fragrances that I reviewed, which is basically the reason why I'm reviewing it, is because it actually took me by surprise in terms of, for their pricing and for the value that they bring, it is really something amazing. I think the 6 mls or so is, I think, about 350 rupees, and I think the 12 ml is about 600 rupees or so, if I'm not wrong. And for that price, I think it is really good value for money in terms of what this house is bringing. Now a lot of times when we try out houses like this, like the case of Maven Perfumery or anything, you are quite surprised by the quality of products that they bring. While the scent profiles are really good, the projection is good, and the value for money component is definitely there. One element that I would request them to kind of work on is definitely a little bit of the presentation. While if you look at the cap is nicely done, but I feel this stickering or the bottling could be slightly better, because in the world of Attars today, the bottles are also evolved a lot, and you can do a lot better in terms of the stickering and the bottle itself in terms of presentation. So I was sent this in this way. It didn't come in any specific boxes, but I'm sure the 12 mls will come in a separate box of its own. But on the whole, I think this is these are really nice, good value for money. If you've been wanting to try something which is more sweeter, more unisex, more that is more appealing, mass pleasing kind of a fragrance, then I think you can definitely go for all three of them. I would highly recommend you to try Spirit of Oud and of course Floral Lotion, because I think these are two fantastic fragrances, while Ambrosia for me is more more gourmandish, more evening wear kind of a thing that I could think about, but the Oud and Floral Lotion are fantastic, right? So this was my very quick review about this particular house called Fashion Perfumery, based out of Gujarat. And if you do know houses which are extremely good in India but are not heard about so much, do let me know. I would be happy to try them, test them and review them. So you're watching The Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. See you on the next one.